doing so far?
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah. So yeah, man, you just woke me up here, but you got those numbers ready for me?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I researched the other properties they're on, and that 275 you had mentioned. I just based on my quick research, I'm not saying there aren't properties out there that are selling for that amount. That clearly are, but I found two of them at 275 or thereabouts. One was 275, one was 280, and they were both flipped within the last 6 months. So, they were done. It was clear that, from top to bottom, they were completely remodeled. So I didn't see the same value that you did as far as that property being worth 275.
Okay.
But that's kind of a moot point either way, because I'm not nearly as excited about the West Palm Beach property as I am the other property we initially started talking about.
Okay.
But again, are you? I don't know. Is that the lowest you can go on those properties? I'm just trying to find the value for us. Yeah.
Well, let me see. I need about 150,000 cash right now to reinvest with my buddy. So I'm gonna need, I gotta do the numbers and see exactly what I could do. But if I'm gonna sell, I want to sell the whole property, get it off the books, or unless you can offer me some kind of creative financing and so forth, and get me what I need to get me, and then we could work something out. I've done deals like that in the past. That's actually how I got a couple of these properties. Are you familiar? I mean, do you guys do that, or do you want me to write that up for you and give you my terms?
Yeah, we do sometimes.
Okay.
What would you have in mind there? I mean, because I think you know your situation a little better with the trying to be an equity partner within this new project with your buddy. What were you thinking?
All right. So it depends on what your exit strategy is. If you're going to rent it out to someone else and cash flow, or you're just going to try to flip it. Because if I'm going to do a financing term, I need $150,000 cash out, and then I could finance the rest of you at 6% over 30 years amortization and a balloon payment in maybe 5 to 10 years. And so I would need that. That would work for me, and we can go over the specifics. How much is that going to be a month, etc. But that would help me out in this. But the price is not going to be too much discounting, because
Sharon, you there? Sharon.
Yeah, it went out for a minute.
Yep, I can't hear him. So you still show him? Is he still there?
He's still there.
Okay.
Wow, yeah, internet.
Yeah.
It was getting good too.
Darn, he's probably rattling on back there.
Oh, he just disconnected. He'll probably hop back on.
Okay. Man, that's the longest silent pause, right?
Yeah, for sure. A balloon, that was a good breakdown. 150K down, a balloon, 6% interest. Wow, that sounds like a real it sounds like a very specific deal.
Ferran loves doing these he loves creative finance, man. That's his thing.
Yeah, this is part of his forte.
He loves creative finance.
Yeah.
He's like, okay, fine. If you guys value cash more than anything else, then give me time and let's put this deal together.
Right.
Yeah. Gotta like creative finance. Saul doesn't like creative finance like that. He likes wholesale.
I do, but I had to put one together for that property over in Alameda. So.
Oh yeah. See.
Yeah. One thing is so I think on that one we actually had a buyer who wants to come and take it, but they're willing to essentially cash him out, so we can actually offer the seller first position on that deal versus second, but they're going to go in and try to, you know, renegotiate the price down a bit too.
Oh crap, man! He's just responding right now that his internet just went out.
See, I told you.
Damn.
Wow.
He didn't like his terms. That's what happened. It's like, dang it, I'm not asking for nothing.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
Do you think he could do it by his phone? Because 4G probably still works, at least, right?
Yeah, I mean, we can shoot him a message.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Let him know that he could try to open up. Okay.
Yeah, the creative deals for me, I just don't like all of the paperwork and stuff. I like the numbers and stuff, but then when you get into having oh yeah, he's back.
Yep.
Yes.
Sarah, you there? Hey, you guys, can you hear me?
Yeah.
All right.
Sorry, you're on mute.
Oh yeah, because I thought Farron was gonna hop back in and we're gonna do the call again, but
Yeah.
he's not talking.
Yeah. Farron, man. Hey, shoot somebody a text. Bummer.
Yeah, he hopped back off.
I'll give him one more try.
All right. Yeah, I mean, I like creative deals are cool too, but just
it says bad reception went out.
Okay.
All right. Okay.
Well. Oh, he's back.
All right.
Hello? Can you hear me?
Yo.
There we go.
Okay. I'm sorry, guys.
That's all right, man.
Yes. Yeah. So
okay.
electricity went out. Yeah. All right. I apologize. Where were we? I mean.
You just got done laying down that you need $150,000 cash, and then you were going to be willing to finance the rest of it on 6%, 30-year terms,
right.
30-year loan, and you'd have a balloon payment anywhere between 5 and 10 years.
Right. How does that sound for you?
Yeah.
Would that work?
Well, you know, I mean, I've got to think of this at multiple angles here. You know, I don't really want to hold the West Palm Beach property, but I'd need to know what are you getting for rent on that right now? I mean, I think you said 1,400. Okay.
Right. And on a good day, right now it's 700 because of the tenant, but that's a month to month. So once he's gone, he's back. You know, you probably even get 15.
Yeah, I know. I like to think optimistic too, but you know, like I said, we're in weird times right now. If I end up pushing that out again, you know, where everybody can stay for free for another 6 months. That's what makes me nervous because we don't know what rules we're playing by. Well, what's the rent on the one over on 123 Main Street?
That's $1,600 a month.
1,600. So between the two of them on a good day, you're getting 3,000, right?
About that.
Okay. Well, I ran the numbers on you know, kind of where we were with the 325 and the 250, you know, that brings me to a monthly payment of about 2,500.
Okay.
Yeah, 2,500, and then we're making 3 if everything goes smoothly. Yeah, I appreciate you thinking creative terms. I like to do creative terms too, Farron, but
Okay.
you know, my investors are going to have a little bit of heartburn about only having a $500 spread, and we still have to deal with a tenant issue.
Yeah. So I'll tell you what, we could just do it on one property. That's fine. You can sell my one property
Okay.
and the first property you called on. We could just do it on that. I'll keep the other one.
You're talking about the West Palm Beach property. That's one you'll keep.
Yeah, I'll keep that one. But if we can come to terms of this, you know, 350, and we'll do the terms, you know, I'll get what I want, and you'll get your property. How's that sound?
Well, the 350, I mean, that's market price. You know, and again, you know, we're just looking at. I think we're just looking at things differently. I understand you're trying to walk into this new deal with as much money in your pocket, but you know, there's just no meat on the bone if we pay 325. You know, I'm not saying I'm not totally. I'm not saying
Did you say
I'm totally out
Did you
on,
say 325?
Yeah, I think you said 325 on a
Yeah.
123 Main Street, right?
Let's write it up. Write it up. Send it to me, and we'll make that work.
No.
You just said 325.
No,
What did I
I'm
miss?
just good. I think you had come down. That was good. But no, it came out of my mouth, but I was repeating what you said.
Oh,
But,
okay.
You're
I
a
got
sly
you.
investor. I like that.
I thought you were making me an offer, John. I thought we were there, Jason.
No. But hey, I can't blame you. I would have jumped too. Tell you what.
Tell me.
I like the creative financing part, but I've got to have a little more meat on that bone if we're going to go that route. And I mean,
All right. I could work.
2
I could work
properties.
with you. Okay. Tell me.
What
2
would you
properties.
say?
Okay.
Both properties. You know, I'd feel real comfortable around 340. If you could find, or not 340, excuse me. So right now you wanted 575 for the both of them, right?
Right. Yeah. I mean, 340. I was going to jump on that too, but
Yeah. So as far as how much I need you to finance, you know, I can get you your 150, but it's that 340. And how about 6%, 30-year fixed? I think we could do. 5 years is a little tight for us. I know we're in a bubble and we're going to pop. So if you can do the balloon payment at 10 years, I'd be willing to do that.
okay. Can you hear me, Jason?
Yep, I can hear you, man.
Okay. Yeah. Lost my reception again. Back on the 4G now.
Okay.
What was your last offer? What was your offer?
Yeah. If you go for owner financing at 340, we'll do the 6%. I'm good with that. But the one thing that I would need is a little bit more time for this bubble that's going to pop to rebound. I'd be looking at 10 years before the balloon payment.
Can you hear me?
Yep, I can hear you.
Hello.
Farron, you there?
Jason, are you there? Yep. Sorry,
Yeah.
having some problems with my Wi-Fi again. Yeah, my connection. I'm sorry, guys.
That's all right, man. That's all right.
connection is really bad right now. I'm having like a little wind surge.
Yep.
And so it keeps kicking me out from the call. Now,
Bummer, man. I think we just lost him. There he is.
hello, hello.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Darren.
Can you
Hey.
hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, man. Down in
So,
Florida, we got all these kind of funny things happening here. So
yeah, no sweat, man.
check my Wi-Fi here. So
It's
you
okay.
said 340. We could probably just go ahead and end this here because I might be kicked off again, and we could Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yep.
All right. I'll take whatever deal you're giving me right now. I have a new urgency.
All right, man. We'll write up the paperwork. We'll send it over.
Also,
I really excited about
send it
doing business
over.
with
We'll
you.
make the deal happen. We'll make the deal happen.
Great. Sounds good.
Wife is calling me. Kids are acting up. There's a storm outside. But
Yeah.
send it over. I'll look it over, and I think we're gonna make the deal happen.
Yeah. You better batten down the hatches, man.
Okay.
Sounds like things are going haywire. All right. Thanks for on. All right, you guys.
Good call. Good call.
Good call.
Good call. I think you know what's crazy is I thought about it. I don't think Farron did this intentionally, but he literally changed the dynamic of that call by bringing that other property right away. Because now your focus is split. It's not on one thing. So now that I think about it, it's like as a seller, like that's actually one of the things that as an investor you think, oh, multiple properties, you know, this is going to be juicy. We're going to put down together. But when your focus is split like that, it's like you can't focus on one thing and like really figure out what the pain is on that one. And you're just kind of flip flopping between the two. So tactically, from a seller standpoint, I think that was a pretty good tactic. But I don't know if he did that intentionally or if he just kind of did that to make the call more interesting.
Right. Yeah. When he started offering terms, and if I could get him up to 10 years, and that's free money, you know, at 6%. I mean, if you go to a bank right now and try to get a commercial loan, you're at like 7%.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, if I could get him up around 10 years, then that's what I was most interested in because, you know, $150,000 investment for 2 properties that, you know, I trust are going to appreciate.
Yeah.
Really, the only other thing came down to, you know, how long do I have to keep that tenant in there? When I started looking at how much rent was, how much he was bringing in, that's when I said, okay, if I can get him down to financing $340 per month, that brings my monthly payment down to $2,000.
Yeah.
And then I can wait things out because I'm still cash flowing. And as soon as we can move that tenant out, and we can get a new one in to pay full rent. And then it's not the way I originally had thought about it going in, but I thought, you know, one of them's a really good renter if all of it checks out.
Yeah.
And this could be something where I'm sitting on somebody else's money, keep management in place, and until there's a problem, don't mess with it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
But anyways, you guys probably have some thoughts. I know we all think like wholesalers first, but all I heard after he said, I need 150 right away and I'll finance the rest was like, that's pretty cheap money.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. It is. But he needed 150. So he needed 150 total. So he could have got 75 and 75 off each property, right? And that's what the deal was.
Right.
Okay. Yeah, I
Yeah,
think
and then when I didn't have to bring all cash, I just looked at my cash, my cash on cash return at that point. Thought, okay, an appreciating market, and he's going to get me through the bubble.
yeah, for sure. You
So,
can't beat
but
that.
I'd love to hear devil's advocate, guys, because if there's some way you look at that and you say, yeah, you didn't think of this though. I mean, those are the sort of things where, like you said, Saul, you get caught off guard and attention divided.
Yeah.
Right. So that's 6%. I would have, I think I would have wanted that a little bit lower.
Yep.
That's I would have tried to get him down. If he's at 6, I'm thinking he probably can go to 4. If not, I would try to get it down. I would try to get it down to 0. But if you can if you can get it to 2, because that's what Pace always preaches. He said you got to try to 0, but that doesn't always happen. But
right.
I think you could have got him to 4. Other than that, that was pretty smooth. The only thing that wasn't is just the interest rate. That's it. That I could have went. You always think, dang, could I pushed it a little bit more? That's all.
Yep.
But
well, once I had him on price,
yeah,
once I got him to come down on price, and I knew what he needed out of the deal. It's kind of like Saul a couple of weeks ago when you were going to come down to 140 in order to get your boat.
Yeah.
Once I looked at it and said, there's $1,000 spread monthly cash flow.
Oh yeah.
In an appreciating market like Miami, and that's all I was thinking right there. Like, he gets us to 10 years. We're going to have to wait it out, but we're going to make some money here.
Yeah. You get something there like that, you're gonna be sitting very swell, because that's the name of the game, right? That's the name of the game, creative finance. What about you, Saul?
I think Jason was right in the sense that Furon was kind of set on what he wanted to do in terms of the arrangement of the deal. The only thing I might have done, and the only reason why I'm bringing this up is because me and Johnny talked about this like a week or two ago, or we talked about what Todd Toback says, which is because he told, I run these calculations in my head now about pain, because he told you about what's his present pain, right? Now you have to essentially quantify what his past pain was with this tenant. Yeah, with this tenant like paying partial rent, and then what the future pain is going to be, right? When you can kind of quantify those, then you start running numbers in his head, and he's having a different calculation about, oh shoot, what if this continues to happen? Like he's about to step into a pit of vipers, but he doesn't know yet. That's essentially kind of the analogy that I use with this. I mean, I'm not saying that you would even have to cut him down, but to really like make the deal stick, I go into those kind of dark places now. With sellers,
like as far as future pain, is that what you're
or
talking
just
about?
just elaborate more on the paying present. Okay, well, sounds like these guys have only been paying you half rent or like a quarter of the rent for the past 4 months. I mean, tell me more about that. It sounds like they're behind about 10 grand, right? And let's just say hypothetically, they just the moratorium goes on for another 6 months. I mean, do you think you could take another 10 grand or and it's probably 10 grand's not a big deal, right? And then just let him go, right? So you're quantifying that pain for him and like making him think. I think that is kind of where my head's gone now, because I'm a high C anyway, so it's like very analytical. But now I'm kind of using sales and analyzing their situation and explaining to them in a way that they're like kind of thinking like, oh, okay, actually, you know what, this guy's right. Like, if I don't do something about this, this is what's going to happen. Like, this is the future pain. It's not like I'm creating it. I'm just telling them what they told me, and I'm essentially quantifying for them,
Right.
So
to go into that a little bit more, just trying to put that out there to rub a little salt in the wound. And
because there's this guy, the deal that we did in Alameda, I was telling the guy, I was like, hey, I mean, what happens if like you guys don't pay off the IRS, right? I mean, you're not going to jail or anything, right? Like, nothing's going to happen like that, because I mean, they don't send people to jail for IRS, right? And I mean, there was a serious conversation, but I was just kind of joking around. I was like, they don't send people for not paying taxes, right? And he's like, got really quiet.
Yeah,
really quiet. And the wife was like, you know what? He's actually working on his taxes right now to get them paid. And I think we're going to try to go pay our property taxes right now. I'm like, but property taxes, I mean, you could like literally not pay them in California for 5 years. And then there probably is some like, you know, social group, you know, some NGO or, you know, some kind of group that'll help you figure it out, right? It's not a big deal. I mean, you guys stay here for another few years. You know, don't pay your taxes. It'll shake itself out, right? And property values will keep going up. And then we had a real like that was like the come to Jesus moment, I think, of that conversation. And that's where when Johnny and I did that kind of pain present, pain past thing, I mean, some people think, Saul, you're a freaking vulture for doing this kind of stuff, but honestly, this is where the deals stick because they now you've quantified the pain for them.
Was that on the second part of that role play you guys did? Because I started on that and then wasn't able to find it again. Again, I was in my truck driving along and trying to pan through our different videos that you've uploaded, Saul. But is that where that was?
I can't remember exactly which call it was, but
yeah,
John, I think the term that Johnny used was twisting the knife. It's the same concept, but that's how he like labeled it. And so I guess it's the same thing. It's like you're just twisting the knife, but really you're throwing salt in the wound. You're twisting the knife. I mean, you're essentially showing them there's a pit of vipers in front of them before they take their next step. But you're quantifying the pain for them to essentially allow them to get an understanding of the reality of their situation. Because like Todd says, he's nice. It's like Todd says, every one of these people is procrastinators. They're in their position for a reason.
Right.
So
procrastination.
Yeah. Well, and the thing about the ledger that I kept talking about, I mean, I've done deals with other landlords, and you know, I know when you first start talking to them, you let them talk, you build rapport, you know, you do as much as you can, but ultimately, what tells you if they're telling the truth is that ledger, right?
Yeah.
And then even after that, I mean, you've got to go a little bit on faith, you know, start asking from the neighbors, is there anything crazy going on over here? The pretty peaceful neighborhood, these guys, you know, you got to do your investigation because that landlord is absolutely going to tell you whatever he needs to tell you to get that off his hands. You know?
Yeah, exactly.
Aaron, you back? Can you hear me?
Guys, can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah. So
okay.
we're all just going on and on here, but so now I'm real curious. What was your situation you were trying to play out?
Okay, so I threw you a monkey wrench with the other property.
I knew it. I knew you did that on purpose. I freaking I told everybody when you hopped off. I literally said that. I was like, he threw that on purpose to divert Jason's direction from one property to the other and just keep switching back and forth between them.
Right. So I want to see if you were going to go with a package deal, and then when I threw out, you know, I was hoping that you'd ask for the pain, or like, well, how much do you need for that next investment? And if you asked me how much I needed, then I would have said we would have cut through a lot of red tape. Been like, okay, well, I really need 150 because I was waiting for you to come up with okay, well, 150. Well, here's what we could probably do for you, and then that's where we can get creative. You see, because I don't need a whole 300 and some to put into that.
Well, the reason I asked you what you need is because I have no idea in the back of my mind. Like, you know, you said commercial property, right? That's what you're going to be a silent or not a silent investor, but equity investor.
Limited partner. Right.
All I knew was, since you brought up the other property, you know, you had mentioned multiple properties and then you wanted to throw one in on top of it. So at that point I thought, he's serious. So if he's serious enough, we're going to end up talking about what he needs, you know, and I almost opened my mouth as far as, you know, coming up with some creative terms, but I thought, well, why don't I just ask him what he needs? Because I'm going to be shooting in the dark here. So,
right.
Yeah, but it did throw me off.
But you roll with it. You roll with it, and you did a couple pullbacks, and like, well, you know, let's not kind of like put the cart before the horse. I don't know about that property, but I was hopefully maybe you could look it up at the same time and take a look at it while I was talking about it, and then, you know, make me an offer, because every seller wants an offer right away. So make me an offer, right?
Well, and that's the thing I sensed, is that you said it was 2 months out and you weren't really deep into the woods as far as what the deal is, and, you know, is this really going to happen? But I sense
right.
that he's throwing 2 properties in. So what's that about? To me, that's he's willing to sacrifice 2 properties in order to make this other one deal work. You know, he's not at the beginning of stages. He needs his money now.
I see what you're saying. Right.
Fairly soon. But yeah, I mean, as soon as you started talking your 6%, 30 years, you know, balloon and 5 to 10, I was over here working on Google. Okay, what's that amount?
Yeah, that's definitely good. Those, like you said, once you get to like 10, because in those markets, like every 10 years, they're almost like doubling in value.
Right. Yeah. Well, not only that, but it was just last week I sent you that link, Farron. Did you end up watching that? Where, oh gosh, what is his name? Ken McElroy's talking about Miami being one of those areas that, you know, you want to be primed and ready.
Always buy something in the area. Is that?
Yeah, he's talking about an initial dip and a drop off, but that's one of the areas he's going to be targeting, just because people are, you know, from the Northeast are flooding down the coast into the Carolinas and into Florida, Georgia. So he says, you know, Miami is never going to lose its appeal. Everybody loves Miami. It's a great place to live. So he was just encouraging people that, you know, wait for the bottom to fall out and then get in there and take advantage.
Okay. Well, I'm looking for, did you send that to the group or you just send that to me?
I think I sent that to you. I think you were, I don't remember what you said. I think you said you were in the middle of dinner. You'll check it out later, but yeah, I can send that to you later. Send it to you again.
Sure. Yeah. Or I'll go looking for it.
All right.
Good stuff, man. Good stuff.
Any feedback? Anything I did wrong? Or I know you said that these guys were right. They said I didn't really pry hard enough to figure out your pain point. And what if this continues on? What if this tenant suddenly stops paying anything at all? You know?
Right.
So they had
I guess
really
if you would have asked me more pain points, asked me more, well, what if they weren't paying anything? What if, you know, paying a bad situation where I could be like, well, I didn't think about that. That's a good point. You know, and I guess, you know, I want top dollar for the market. Maybe I should put it with a real estate agent instead and try my luck there. A pull away like that would have been like, well, I don't want to use an agent, or we would have got into a different conversation at that point.
Right.
That's exactly why I love like the whole thing about diffusing the I stick the realtor right at the beginning to essentially differentiate that conversation from the get-go. Okay. Because you're absolutely right. If I started a conversation with, say, like Farron, we keep going for like 5, 10, 15 minutes. I didn't talk about a realtor once, and he pops and says, you know what? Actually, I could probably list this as a realtor and get more, right? But if you diffuse the situation right away and say, hey, you know, if we're not a fit, working with a realtor might make more sense for you, then they already kind of know that, so they can't use that against you as one of those things. You've already diffused the bomb before it could be, you know, set. So
yeah, absolutely.
I'm a big fan of that.
Hey, have you guys heard of Sandler? Oh, okay. The Sandler like sales. They say like Todd Toback, Pace Morby, all of them like they use the Sandler method for, you know, to do their sales. They say that's where they get it from. They get it from Sandler or something.
Now that I just heard you say Sandler method, yeah, I have heard of that. I haven't looked into it at all, Johnny, but now that you put the 2 words together, yeah, I've heard of it before.
I went on their website, their whole breakdown of their whole sales system and and it's just psychology and everything else of sales in a breakdown. It's like a 16-hour breakdown, and the shit is $197. That's it. Yes.
$197. Okay.
And it broke my mind. I said, these guys are learning this stuff for $200 and going out and reselling it for 10 grand.
Power to them.
How much was Todd Toback's program when I bought it a few years back was like $300 or something?
Oh yeah, that was
or something, $495.
Yeah, I mean like less than $500 though. I think that's still a pretty good deal though, right?
Heck yeah.
Yeah, that was good.
No doubt.
So yeah, it was $500 for all 3 programs: the agent program, the no limit sales system, and then the other program.
The deal, bigger deals. Bigger
I'll get
deals.
to, yeah, right now they had